Okay, so a number of you have asked me about putting your tefillin away, and I was saying that I actually put my tefillin away a certain way, um, so that it's very easy to tell which one is the tefillah shel rosh and the tefillah shel yad. And as you can see, I wrap according to the Nusach Sephard, the way the Sephardim wrap. So it basically works the same way, whether you wrap this way or you wrap Ashkenazic way. So what I do is essentially I do a modification on the way that the Jews of Morocco actually wrap their tefillin when they're putting them away. And as I said, it makes it extremely easy to tell which is the tefillah shel rosh from the tefillah shel yad. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove start to remove my tefillah shel yad, and we put these on or take them off in the exact opposite order that we put them on in. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it back around my hand. And when you're putting these away, you should take as much care with putting them away as you do when you are putting them on. These are sacred, and they should be treated that way. So they should always look in a manner that beautifies the mitzvot. So I have this wrapped around my hand now. Now we're going to go with the tefillah shel rosh. Okay, so I have my box here. I'm going to take off my tefillah. And I wear the large kippah, so I have to slip it off and then take it off and then put the kippah back on. So now here is my tefillah shel rosh. And you can see I don't wear the big one. I've had these for many years, and as you can see, I've just repaired them to make sure that that they were in good shape and the corners didn't have any paint missing or anything on them. So, some point I might actually go to the larger tefillin, but for now, I've had these so long, I'm rather attached to them and I like them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully put the loop around the back of the case and carefully set it back into the case so that I don't scratch it or I don't bump it. Okay, and I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to roll this over. I'm going to separate my two straps here, and I'm going to put the tefillin on the table like this. Now, according to what most Ashkenazim do, is they wrap this down around and underneath, and then they wrap the straps around the sides. And then when they wrap the tefillah shel yad, they wrap it so it looks very similar. And that's where the difficulty comes in, because they look so similar, sometimes it's hard to tell. So, the way that I do it, so I take this, I fold it over, and I take the strap for that side, and I start wrapping it around. Now, I want to make sure that this loop is big enough that when I get ready, I can slide the end of it in there. So as you're wrapping it, you may have to pull the loop up or pull the winding down And I kind of pull it tight as I go along. Now you can see it's actually closing up a little bit. So I'm going to pull it up a little bit. And I'm going to continue wrapping this around. And now I'm going to take my talit out of the way. So I don't want it loose, I want it to be tight because I don't want it to unravel on me when it's being put away or while it's in the bag. Like I said, it takes a little bit of time, but this is the kind of care that we should take when we're putting these away. So now I have this. I'm going to slide the strap through the loop, and I'm going to pull it. When I pull it, I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull it up a little bit. So when I pull this down tight, you'll see it tightens up right around it. It's not going to come loose. Okay. Now we come over to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. Fold it over, make our loop, and start winding it. And again, we want to make sure that we have enough loop there so that we can take the end of the strap and loop it back through. Pull it tight every once in a while, just make sure. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here, I'm going to put it through the loop here, and feed it through, grab it, and I'm going to start pulling it through, and I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to pull it tight. So there, you can see that now it's done, and you can see how much different this actually looks from the regular way of winding it. It's very easy to just come in and touch it in the bag and know which one is the tefila shel rosh. So now I have that one done. I'm going to put it back in the bag. And I always put it to the right side just to make sure. And I'll set the bag off to the side. Now I'm going to take the tefila shel yad, and I'm going to take it off. As you can see, I'm unwinding it with my left hand. So now I have it off, and I have my tefillah, and I have the loop that I put my arm through. I'm going to come over that back, turn it over, and again, carefully place it into the box. With the tail touching the box, close the box, and now I'm going to take it, come across here, and I'm going to tighten this up here. Okay. So now I'm going to start wrapping it around the end of the box. So when I make it the first time around, I'm going to come behind here. I'll pull this up a little bit. I'm going to come behind here, and I'm going to continue wrapping. And as I'm wrapping it, I want to make sure that it's straight. And then I wrap it tight so that it doesn't come unraveled on me when it's put away. And I just continue winding it around like this. And it takes a few minutes, but it is well worth it because, as I said, when they're put away, they should look as beautiful as when you're wearing them. I'm just trying to straighten out the straps here so that I don't have to keep stopping. Okay, so I continue wrapping it around. Every once in a while, I'll just give it a little pull just to make sure it's tight, but not too tight that it cracks this plastic case. Now, if you have a metal case, then it's not really so much of an issue. Okay, so it's kind of getting a little out of line, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to straighten it out. And as you can see, this looks significantly different than the tefila shel yad, or the tefila shel rosh. And as I said, when it is in the bag and you can't see it, it is extremely easy to tell the difference between one and the other. And again, if somebody should come along and take the tefillin out, they look at it and they go, wow, that is not only interesting, but it looks very nice, very neat. And that's what we want. We want to take as much care of this when we're putting it away as we are when we are wearing it. Now, I don't have enough to get all the way around again because at this point, I'm going to take the end of the strap and I'm going to put it through the loop here. I'm going to push it under there so that it comes out here. And I'm going to pull that down. I'm going to pull it tight down here. Now, I'm going to take this end, this top of the loop, and I'm going to pull it back just a little bit so that it comes behind here. So essentially what it's going to do is it's going to lock all of this in place. So when I tighten this up, and you can see I'll pull this until I get the strap all the way to the side and it's tight. Like that. Now, it's not going to come loose. It is not going to unravel unless somebody actually takes it out and goes to put it on. Okay, now I'm going to take the strap. I'm going to come back up and around, and I'm going to tuck the balance of this underneath the strap here. And when I'm done, it looks very nice, it looks very neat, and it's not going to come off. So now I can take this and I can put it in my tefillin bag next to my tefila shel rosh. And now, when I'm ready to take these out and put them on, or if I loan them, as the Shulchan Aruch tells us that we should, for somebody who doesn't have one and wants to lay tefillin, they reach in, or they can reach in, and they can very easily, just by touching the straps, they can tell which one is the tefila shel rosh, because it has the two small loops on them, or the tefila shel yad, which has the big winding on it. So that's how it's done. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have much Baruch and Mazel doing it for yourself. And thank you for watching.